CES 2022 is happening this week in Las Vegas. Now, I had planned to fly there, but most of the brands that I usually see, they went virtual, so I did too. We still have tons of tech news to cover, so let's go ahead and talk about portable tech today, specifically laptops and phones. Now, a little disclaimer, I am very congested today, so if my voice sounds weird, that's why. I did get tested. No, it's not that thing that YouTube never wants you to talk about, so don't worry about me, I'm fine. It's probably just a head cold. But CES still goes on whether you're sick or not, so I have a lot to report on this week. Let's go ahead and get started with Acer. So Acer built a laptop out of recycled plastics. This is called the Aspire Vero National Geographic Edition, and purchases of this laptop support the National Geographic Society. Now, what makes this design unique is that Acer is using 30% post-consumer recycled plastics in the chassis and 50% in the keycaps. And the laptop can easily be upgraded and repaired, which means you could probably have this thing lasting you several years. Now, the packaging was built with reuse in mind as well. Like, you can use the inner partition as a laptop stand, and when the time comes, you can also remove the Phillips head screws on the bottom to replace the RAM or the SSD. I would love to see this available in the US, but for the time being, it looks like it will only be available overseas. Price will be determined. Lenovo is also doing something like this too, and this one should be available for us here in North America. This is their ThinkPad Z13 and Z16. Now, these come with either recycled aluminum or recycled vegan leather. It actually looks really nice. The packaging is made from 100% recyclable and compostable bamboo and sugarcane, and the power brick is 90% post-consumer content. Now, they have upgraded some of the ThinkPad specs in this new laptop, like there's a better screen-to-body ratio for the OLED displays, there's upgraded processor options, and faster Wi-Fi connectivity. But Lenovo is keeping that iconic track point in this keyboard, so you can still use that with the new functionality. If you are a diehard ThinkPad fan, don't worry, the little red nubbin is still there, but versions will be available in May. The Z13 will set you back about $1,549, that's USD, and the Z16 will be $2,099. Now, Lenovo also brought some upgrades to the X1, the X1 Carbon, and the Yoga lines, but can we talk about this totally beefy looking Thinkbook Plus Gen 3? It's got this ultra-wide 17.3-inch display, plus a little 8-inch display set into the casing right next to the keyboard. Now, I immediately think about using one of these for something like video editing, because I do it practically every single day. Having a secondary display for things like your assets or your media libraries, for things like music in the background of my videos, or additional audio, or maybe little thumbnails that I'm showing you up in the corners, stuff like that. I don't want to switch back and forth between a whole bunch of windows, so having a secondary display is very cool. Like, this is why I have two displays at my desktop editing station. It's got nice premium 2022 specs, and surprisingly, this one will start at $13.99 in May. I honestly was thinking it would cost a lot more. Now, they also made mention to their new Thinkbook 13X Gen 2, which you can charge wirelessly with this multi-device charging mat sold by Lenovo. We already knew about the charging mat, and now we have a Gen 2 laptop to match it, which makes me think, the faster wireless charging becomes, is this going to be a norm in the coming years? We saw this mat last year, but we are starting to see more support for it. Now, I am totally down for some wireless charging laptops. I think it's so cool. We will see this one in April for a starting price of $10.99. Now, back to Acer. If you need portable for classes or work, check out the new Swift X. This is a really pretty laptop. This is Acer's more powerful 14-inch laptop, but it only weighs 3 pounds. I really want to test this one out. The smaller form factor's got a 12th gen Intel CPU, it's got NVIDIA's RTX 3050 Ti laptop GPU, and a very thin chassis. The bigger model, which weighs a little bit less than 4 pounds, includes Intel's new integrated Arc graphics instead of the NVIDIA graphics. It is not marketed as a gaming machine, but a device for folks that need power and portability. Both of them have really nice looking screens, lots of storage, lots of RAM options, there's Wi-Fi 6E, lots of ports, including Thunderbolt 4, yay. They also feature Windows Hello via a fingerprint reader, and I'm also really digging this teal color because it gives my weeb self Sailor Neptune vibes from Sailor Moon. I'm down for that. That's cool. No pricing or availability yet on this one, but I'll keep an eye out. Now, you are probably wondering where the display foldables are after Lenovo's fancy folding display laptop from a couple of years ago. Well, we have a new one from Asus. This one is a 17-inch, so it's larger than that concept by Lenovo. This is the ZenBook 17 Fold OLED. Now, the large screen can fold in half to take with you, protecting the folding display at the same time. You could use this laptop as a tablet. It would be a very large tablet, but you do you. You could use it with a kickstand, or you can fold it sideways and use it like any other laptop with a bundled keyboard that can slide into place on the bottom half of the folding display. And given it's a larger display, that means that the keyboard should be more comfortable too, because the keyboard will be larger as well, because it matches the size of the display. It does have some reasonable specs, nothing like a premium high-end laptop, but definitely good for day-to-day work or productivity. Hopefully the battery holds up since this display is huge, but it should be available in Q2 of 2022, and price will also be announced later. Now, lastly, for my laptop section for this video, one of the weirdest choices for laptops this year that I could actually see myself trying out and liking maybe is the new Dell XPS 13 Plus. I mean, look at that keyboard. It runs from edge to edge with bigger keys, but look at what's missing. A trackpad. It's just a big piece of glass that hides the touchpad from one Alt key to the other. So it actually is there, but it's hidden. Got an invisibility cloak over it. It looks cleaner, but I don't know why really you would need to hide the touchpad, which works using haptic feedback. The other big change is the capacitive function keys, which are set just over the number keys. And this does include your escape key. Those do not provide any kind of haptic feedback though. Now this looks sleek, and as usual, Dell is making their XPS 13s a very great contender with up to 4K OLED screens. They're very lightweight at 2.7 pounds and teeny tiny bezels on the sides of that display. So it's beautiful. People are either gonna hate this or they're going to love this thing. But either way, it is very, very unique. So I do have some salt to add to this bit. There's no headphone jack. And you know how I feel about headphone jacks, especially with Bluetooth being so vulnerable. So yeah, there's no headphone jack. It will be available in spring for $11.99 and up. Now, I think fresh tech is always a great way to start the new year. And one of the things that I love to do every single year is learn something new, broaden my horizons, which brings me to my sponsor, Cyber. You have heard about them before on the channel, and Cyber is back with a new deal just for you, my viewers. Today's sponsor is Cyber. That's CYBR.com. They're an online cybersecurity community with training resources. If you are interested in earning your CompTIA Security Plus certification or picking up practical ethical hacking skills, they are running a New Year's sale for 50% off on all of their bundles. And on top of that, they are providing an additional discount just for my s'mores. So you can use the code Morse Code for an additional discount only available to viewers and for a limited time. With their biggest bundle, you get access to their CompTIA Security Plus certification preparation course, their ebook, and the practice exams as well. You will also get access to the courses and ebooks for their cross-site scripting practical guide, the practical guide to SQL Map for finding SQL injection vulnerabilities, and networking fundamentals. So start the new year building new skills and playing around with super cool vulnerabilities by taking advantage of this limited time offer. I mean it. Broaden your horizons, learn something new. Check out cyber.com, use the coupon code Morse Code for your discount, and thank you so much to Cyber for sponsoring my CES content. Okay, let's talk about phones. So in terms of phones, Samsung announced the affordable Galaxy S21 FE, that's Fan Edition. I say affordable in comparison to their premium flagships. I am well aware this is not a budget phone, but since this one is set at $699 USD, it will be competitive against some excellent Android phones that are currently on the market. It also packs in a Snapdragon 888 chipset, and you can get 6 or 8 gigs of RAM and 128 or 256 gigs of storage. As far as I can tell, there is no micro SD card slot. It also sports both sub-6 and millimeter wave for 5G. It's got a 6.4-inch display, 120Hz Hz refresh rate, and an optical in-display fingerprint scanner instead of the faster ultrasonic one that we saw in the other S21s last year. The cameras seem to be the same as the S21. There are 3 on the back and 1 on the front. It will be $699 and available on January 11th. Now keep in mind, the S21 is $799, so that's only a $100 difference, and we will probably hear about the S22 lineup very soon. We've already seen leaks, so I'm just waiting for the specific announcements. OnePlus, one of my favorite manufacturers of Android phones, they unveiled their OnePlus 10 Pro, which will have a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset and this new 80-watt Super VOOC, maybe Super VOOC, which supposedly will get your phone charged up from 0 to 100% in 29 minutes or less. It also packs in 3 cameras on the back, 1 on the front, with OnePlus still partnering with Hasselblad. No pricing info or an exact release date yet for North America, so I'm keeping an eye on this one for more information. And lastly, I wanted to mention TCL. Now, they do make some incredible budget phones. They are bringing us the TCL 30 series this year, with the TCL 30 XE 5G for T-Mobile and the TCL 30V 5G for Verizon. Now, we will hear more about these at Mobile World Congress next month, and these will officially launch in the next few weeks. If you want to hear more about gaming at CES 2022, I didn't mention any of the gaming laptops, so that's going to be in another video. Or if you want to check out weird, very random things that I never even imagined I would ever want or need, or a wrap-up of all the cool stuff that I got to check out virtually, make sure to subscribe. By the way, this is crazy, but this video just hit 90,000 views. Did you see my server rack build? It was so much fun. I learned so much, and I hope that it helps out some other people who are building their first server rack as well. I just posted it and it was so much fun. Check it out here or see more tech review videos at this link. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye, y'all.